Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mary Wahu, your favorite go-to sociologist, and this is your number one favorite YouTube channel where we talk about confidence, self-improvement, and living your best life. Now today, we are diving deep into a topic that affects every area of our lives, and it is called healthy boundaries in relationships. Now whether it's family, friendships, romantic relationships, or work connections, boundaries are the key to respect, peace, and personal growth. So if you've ever felt drained, taken for granted, or even lost in a relationship, this video is for you. Stay till the end because I'll be sharing powerful strategies to set boundaries without actually feeling guilty. Now, I'll also share on how to handle pushbacks with confidence. Now let's get into it. We start off by asking ourselves, what are boundaries and why do they actually matter? Now, think of boundaries as invisible lines that define what's acceptable and what's unacceptable in your interactions with others. Now, boundaries, they protect your time, energy, emotions, and overall well-being. Without them, you can feel overburdened, disrespected, and even resentful. Now, how do these healthy boundaries help you? They help you to maintain self-respect and emotional balance. They protect your mental health. They improve relationships by reducing misunderstandings and resentment. They also increase confidence and self-worth. But not all boundaries are the same. Let's break them down based on different types of relationships. Now, we'll start off with family relationships. How do we establish healthy boundaries in family relationships? Now, family bonds are deep, but they can also be complicated. You might love your family, you might really love your family, but that doesn't mean that they should have unlimited access to your time, emotions, and decisions. No. What are some of the examples of healthy boundaries? Some healthy boundaries within family include saying no to unnecessary family drama without feeling guilt. Also, it includes setting limits on how often and how long you visit or communicate. It also includes making it clear that your personal life, like relationships, career, or finances, is yours to decide. Now, how do we enforce boundaries within family? Number one, be direct but respectful. For example, I appreciate your concern, but I need to make this decision on my own. Also, we can say that don't engage guilt trips. Stand firm in your choices. Now, if a family member constantly disrespects your boundaries, limit your interactions with them. Now, number two, we are going to look at boundaries within friendships. Now, true friends respect and uplift each other. But sometimes, friendships can become toxic if one person is overly demanding, disrespectful, and intrusive. Now, signs you need boundaries. What are these signs that you really need boundaries in friendships? Now, if your friend always vent but never listen to you. If your friend expects you to drop everything for them but they don't reciprocate. If your friend guilt trips or manipulates you into doing things that you don't actually want to do. And what are examples of healthy friendship boundaries? Now, these are the key. You can always say, I can't always be available, but I care about you. Let's plan a time that works for both of us. I need friendships that feel balanced, and if you only reach out when you need something, I feel unappreciated. I respect your choice, and I ask that you respect mine too. Now, how do we enforce boundaries in relationships? Number one, communicate honestly and don't apologize for protecting your energy. If they don't respect your boundaries, distance yourself. You deserve friendships that feel safe and equal. We'll also, number three, be looking at boundaries in romantic relationship. Now, love should not be built on should be built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Without boundaries, a relationship can become suffocating, one-sided, or even manipulative. Now, what are the signs that your romantic relationship lacks boundaries? Number one, your partner dismisses your feelings or opinions. They don't care about your feelings and opinions. You feel guilty or you feel guilty for actually needing personal space. Also, they pressure you into things you are uncomfortable with. Yes, relationships include compromise, but when eh, healthy boundaries are lacking, it becomes something else. Now, what are examples of healthy boundaries in romantic relationships? Personal space. It's okay to spend time together, but your partner respects that you need personal space. There are also emotional boundaries. Eh? There are also decision making together. You make decisions together, but you enforce healthy boundaries. Now, how to enforce boundaries in romantic relationship? Speak up early before resentment builds. Speak up. Also, if your partner reacts negatively, it might be a red flag. A healthy partner will respect your boundaries and will communicate openly. Number four, we will be looking at boundaries in the workplace. Now, work should be a place of productivity and professionalism. But stress and exhaustion due to poor boundaries can be a problem. Now, what are the signs that you need workplace boundaries? If you're constantly overwhelmed with work and you have no recognition in the work you do, if your co-workers invade your personal space or time, if you feel pressured to say yes to everything, that's a sign that you need to enforce healthy boundaries. Now, what are the examples of workplace boundaries? I'm happy to help, but I can't take extra work beyond my responsibilities. Number two, I'm unavailable after work hours unless it's urgent. Also, I need a professional and respectful environment. Let's keep discussion work related. Now, how do we enforce boundaries at work? Number one, be clear and professional in your communication. Be clear and professional in your communication. Don't feel guilty for prioritizing your well-being. Also, if issues persist or escalate, you can talk to your HR or management to help you with the same. Now, how do we set healthy boundaries without guilt? Now, many people struggle with guilt when setting boundaries because they don't want to disappoint others. But remember, you are not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. I'll be giving us powerful tips to set boundaries with confidence, and these I've tried and they actually work. Number one, use I statements instead of blaming to express how you feel. Example, I need more personal space to feel balanced. Be firm but kind. You don't have to be rude. Also, you don't have to be a pushover either. Don't over explain. You don't need a long justification, because a simple I can't do that is enough. Also, not everyone will like your boundaries, especially those who benefited from your lack of them, but stand your ground. If someone keeps pushing, repeat your boundaries calmly. For example, I understand you're upset, but my decision remains the same. Now, if they guilt trip you, remind yourself why you actually set the boundary in the first place. Also, if someone continues to disrespect you, consider reducing contact with them, or if symptoms persist, you can cut ties with them. Now, what are my final thoughts about boundaries? We can conclude by saying that boundaries are a form of self-respect, and at the end of the day, setting boundaries is about valuing yourself as an individual. It's not about shutting people out. It's about allowing the right people to come in under the right circumstances. So tell me in the comments which type of boundaries you struggle with. Now let's keep the conversation going. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.